5 questions in 5 minutes. Recycling, manufacturing, and innovation. This is 5 for 5. Hello and welcome to another 5 for 5. Today I am excited because I am joined by John Shegerian. John is the co-founder, chairman, and CEO of the global electronics recycling company ERI, which is the largest resource recovery ITAD and electronics recycling company in the US. He's the co-founder of Recycle Nation and hosts the award-winning Impact podcast. Welcome, John.
It's an honor to be here, Tim.
I'm excited to go through 5 questions in 5 minutes with you. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
So we hear a lot about e-waste. I understand that the volume is just continuing to grow. Tell me about what you see as far as the future of the volume of e-waste that we're going to have to deal with, and what does that mean as far as business opportunities for ERI?
When I got in the industry 24 years ago, 2002, which went by in the blink of an eye, by the way, it was the fastest growing solid waste stream in the world. It was the dark side, unintended consequence of the technological revolution. Fast forward to 2026. There's a lot of great companies that have come up along the way or around the world, like ERI, which are responsible recyclers that make sure that when they recycle something, an old electronic, an obsolete electronic, 100% of it is circular. That's what real responsible recycling is. And we do about 1 million pounds a day. 1 million pounds a day of responsible recycling. But that's the good news. The bad news is this, that e-waste has continued to grow and has so outpaced the innovation of companies like ERI and other companies around the world that now in 2026, electronic waste is the fastest growing solid waste stream in order of magnitude of 5 times the second fastest growing solid waste stream, which is single-use post-consumer plastic. According to the UN, only 22% of the 137 billion pounds that are created around the world every year are responsibly recycled. And then you come back to the US EPA, and only 12 to 15% of obsolete electronics that are available are being responsibly recycled. So yes, the opportunity is massive because it's only going to continue to grow, and good young people like you could come into this industry and do very, very well because it's an ever-growing industry and it's not a zero-sum game. It's a world of abundance. There's so much of this to go around. We need more responsible recyclers than ever before.
It sounds like it's just an absolute avalanche of this stuff. We don't have really the full capacity. And let's talk about that, like what's actually stored in all these devices. I mean, we're hearing a lot about rare earths, critical minerals. It's such a hot topic. Why are governments and businesses suddenly paying attention to it? And where do you come in with all that?
What happens is this. In the last 125 days, the world has woken up to the different choke points that exist in the world. The first choke point has become the most obvious, the Strait of Hormuz. 126 days ago, no one was talking about the Strait of Hormuz. Now that's all everyone talks about as being the biggest energy choke point in the world. But now they're looking to what's next. And what they realized is that China over the last 50 years has built a choke point on critical minerals and rare earth magnets. So they're saying now, how do we start to alleviate that before it's weaponized against us? So what most countries have done in the Western world and other countries in Asia said, now is the time to domesticate the responsible recycling and recovery of our own electronics and our own critical minerals and rare earth magnets. And that's the major trend that's going on today, including the most recent President Trump has outlawed the shipment of obsolete electronics off of our shores by executive order. And good for him to have the courage to do that. It should have been done years ago. And the next gap has to be some sort of federal executive order to ban electronics from going into any landfills. Shame on us, Tim, that in 2026, only 23 states have a landfill ban on obsolete electronics and 27 states have done nothing. And that's not okay.
It's nuts. We're more in the metal space than the e-waste space. And you hear the stats about how much aluminum from aluminum cans is in landfill. Same things obviously happen on the e-waste side. We're given all this incredible resource, just putting it in the ground instead of using it. But you're also getting a lot of help as you're building these factories and facilities to recover this. AI is starting to be a huge part of your business in recovering this material. How is it changing your business and what you guys are doing in your facilities?
We've invested in this for years, 7 years. We've spent tens of millions of dollars in R&D and then beta testing and then scaling of AI and robotics in our facilities, which just helps us do our business faster to get cleaner and more liberated commodities are better for the smelters and for the downstreams, and then you get higher value for that, and then you can move more product through at a faster through rate and accomplish your goals faster. We're also using AI in our software and also in our offices. We're getting fully automated. We have a great chief technology officer who's really focused on the operations side of automation, robotics, and AI. And then our VP of AI was our original CTO at our .com that we had prior to this company, and he became an AI expert, and he's gone right to the heart of the issue and started transforming our company, putting us years and years ahead and putting a big moat between us and our competition.
Incredible, incredible. And good for you guys for embracing it and jumping in, because it's such a game changer, right? When it's integrated the right way in a facility like what you guys are doing. Let's shift gears just a little bit, right? Batteries are also a huge topic, obviously. What does that look like as far as recovering the material out of that in one of your facilities? Do you guys have solutions for that?
We got very lucky back in 2018-19. We were introduced to a young man named JB Straubel. JB was the co-founder of Tesla. And we toured the beginnings of his Redwood Materials facilities, and then he came over and toured ERI. And we were very lucky in 2020. This became Redwood Materials' only investment in all their years of building their great brand. And so we've done a hub and spoke model. This was his vision, where we collect and aggregate post-consumer electronic lithium-ion batteries, and we send it back to JB. And he's built the largest brand in lithium-ion recovery recycling in the world. They're the most successful brand in his recycling space. Secondarily, we also realized a lot of post-consumer batteries are alkaline. So we developed our own IP. It's in our own facilities. We recover alkaline batteries. We recycle them, create black mass, and sell that to a specific marketplace as well. So again, batteries, when handled the right way by Redwood Materials and by our own IP in our facilities for the alkaline, can be fully recoverable and get about 98% recovery rate, which is considered in the waste world zero waste, which is fully circular, which is great. So again, the whole idea is education. We got to get more people recycling these materials. More people recycling means more of this material goes back to the circular economy.
So last question, and you just mentioned it, right? The partnership between ERI and Redwood. As you guys grow, as you're building facilities all over the place, right? Tell me about collaboration. Like, what does that mean to you? And what does it mean for the future of actually accomplishing some of these goals of recycling more, building circular systems, and actually recovering the material that's already out in the world?
It's a great question, Tim. And really what we focus on at ERI in our history is we never took money from private equity, venture capital, Wall Street folks. Nothing bad about them. It's just not our cup of tea. So what we did is we took strategic capital, and the strategic capital came from strategic partners. Our first strategic partner, and I'll give them all the credit in the world, they were way ahead of the world in terms of circularity and sustainability, was LSM&M, which is a subsidiary of the LG famous Ku family. They're the second largest copper and precious metal smelter in the world. They invested in us and joined our board of directors in 2009. They've been an amazing partner now for close to 18 years now. And we learned that collaboration is the way to go. You know, back in the day where the sole entrepreneur can just go it alone, the Steve Jobs or the Bill Gateses of the world, the business model of the 80s and 90s, the iconic figures, the lone wolves. But the way of business now, you're seeing this with NVIDIA, you're seeing this with SpaceX, you're seeing this with so many of these great brands, OpenAI and Anthropic, is collaboration. They call it circular investing. Yeah, people poo-poo it by saying circular investing. It's actually collaboration at its best. And if you collaborate with the right collaborators, it hypercharges your growth. It hypercharges and exponentially increases your opportunity. So our next investor after LSM&M was the great and iconic brand Alcoa, and they joined our board of directors. And then came Redwood Materials, and JB Straubel joined our board of directors. And then Ron Gonen from the Closed Loop Fund. Now, as we grow our brand and live up to our name ERI, I standing for international, it would be a suicide mission to go into Japan, where we announced on March 23rd our partnership with the iconic and amazing brand Itochu. Itochu is one of the most iconic brands, not only in Japan, but around the world. Over 150 years old, over 100 billion in revenue. And even though they're a Japanese born, bred, and raised brand, their largest investor happens to be a gentleman named Warren Buffett. And talk about an honor to partner and collaborate on a 50-50 joint venture to build a huge electronic waste responsible recycling facility in Japan, in the fourth largest economy in the world, and basically the birthplace of the electronics industry with Sony and Panasonic.
Yep.
Now we've announced ERI Vietnam with the Green Marble folks. And on August 31st, we're going to announce our partnership for ERI India with another great brand, Eco Rico, who's been my friends for 10 years, but been our collaborators and partners in India for 7+ years. Just amazing integrity and amazing people. And that's what we go on. People who are aligned in terms of integrity and also from a culture of circularity and of sustainability. And that's what we're really jazzed about. We expect in the next 2 years to have about 15 locations around the world and finally live up to our name, ERI, Electronic Recyclers International.
John, I am fired up. I'm fired up for you. I'm fired up that there's someone building solutions for this thing when it reaches its end of life. I'm so thankful for the work that you guys are doing, not only here in the United States, but around the world. I'm cheering for you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for coming on 5 for 5.
It's an honor.